Welcome to the second episode of Your Time on the Run, the Hunted Series 8 podcast from Reality TV Warriors. My name is Michael Armstrong, and joining me as always is my fellow Brit, who I'd normally say something mean about right now, but that would be just like kicking a kitten, Anthony Williams.
Hello.
And the lady who always clears her sat-nav data, and we've never thought to ask why, Michelle Piss-Denovan.
I'd like to know how to do that. Hi. I want
Hi.
to know.
I was thinking that, I'll be honest. I'm like, ooh, that's actually quite interesting. Because I just plug my phone in with Android Auto.
Yeah, me too, but I love that. I love that people are like, ha!
Yeah, this was very much an episode of really good members of the public and really not. Really, really, really silly members of the public, to be precise.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But first things first, did you have a nice birthday, Ant?
I did, thank you very much. Went for a lovely carvery. And then I had a gig on the Sunday night, so
nice.
It was nice. Yeah, it was good.
We sort of forgot to mention that last week, that it was your birthday coming up, and more importantly, we also forgot to mention that they're back to Volvos. So we actually get Volvo wheelspin this year.
Yeah.
After a couple of years of Land Rovers, which just didn't wheelspin the same. And I will also say, I have had a message off Doug.
Hey.
Oh, Doug.
Nothing that needs reading out on the podcast, but Doug has definitely listened to the premiere.
Excellent.
He acknowledged something that I was doing last week. Have you had a good week, Michelle?
Yeah, busy. The end of Amazing Race Australia and
Hopefully
that
forever.
podcast, and busy at work because it's the last term of the year. So we've literally got something on every 3 days. It's crazy.
Oh, nice. So, Hunted from last week, because this is going to drift further and further apart for us.
No, because we're going to do 3 on Sunday. We'll be good.
We are, but still, we'll still be like at least one episode behind, and Sunday episode 5 airs, but I'm annoyingly trying to avoid spoilers because Hunted HQ are really, really on it about putting who got caught. As I said last week, I did see a silhouette of who got caught in this episode. I didn't recognise who it was, thankfully. I have unfortunately seen one for this week. So I do know one team who gets caught in the next 2 episodes, unfortunately.
Jeez.
Yeah, I really need to learn my lesson and mute Hunted HQ when it's actually airing, but I never ever do. So, previously, 14 new fugitives dispersed from Stansted Airport in a quest to win a share of £100,000 by staying on the run for 3 weeks. Emma fell over as she and her sister Jenni got into a cab leaving the airport. An early setback for Warren and Shaq saw them be the last team to leave the airport, and as they headed towards home, the hunters closed in. Ultimately, in a foot race with the hunters, Warren's hiding place wasn't good enough, and he was the first person whose time in the run ended, as Shaq was left cornered in Canterbury. Now, I know we were down on Shaq last week. He's a lot better in this episode.
Oh, this is a great episode for Shaq.
I'm beginning to think Warren was dragging him down.
Yeah.
However, as we find out later in the episode, Warren was caught less than 9 hours after he went on the run.
I'm wondering if that's a record. I can't remember how long it was when they got caught in the bus station.
Carleen was about 3 hours, I think. I was trying to figure this out weirdly about half an hour ago. I seem to remember she was about 3 hours because she hadn't left Manchester.
Yeah.
Whereas at least Warren had travelled from Stansted to Croydon, which, as we all know, takes at least 6 hours. So Shaq hides behind some bins while Mark looks at his hiding place, but he has run into a pub, and he goes in and asks whether he can get some help. And when the hunters go in and ask about it, none of the people in there are willing to help or are very good at lying about it.
My God, she was shocking. She smiled as she said something, and I'm like, oh my God, just walk away, woman.
But this is the best, though, isn't it? It's when they're obviously lying, because I just think that's funnier. I'd rather them be obviously lying to the hunters. It's great, because everybody knows they're lying, but there's nothing they can do about it.
No, because they can't beat a confession out of them. And even under the rules of the show, the members of the public aren't actually required to cooperate with the hunters necessarily.
No, they're under no obligation whatsoever, so I think it's brilliant.
If it's a situation like the mother-in-law later in the episode, then she will have been on an approved list from production, so she will have said, I'm willing for you to look at my devices and look at my car and all that. But random members of the public in the pub, nah. They can do what they want. And Shaq is hiding in the kitchen, even though none of the chefs have ever seen a young black man in Canterbury. I did like after our discussion last week about it that as soon as Mark goes into the kitchen, he's like, "Have you seen a young black man?"
It's like, whatever.
Yeah, it's like a novelty in Canterbury, apparently. And he arranges to stay the night on the couch in the pub, and it is almost the end of the hunt time for the day because we can see on his watch it's 10:02 p.m. when he panics about where he's going to sleep for the night.
Really?
Yes.
It's late.
It is, but also we do find out later in the episode they didn't disperse from Stansted until 1 p.m.
Okay, it's a short day.
So it was a short day, but as a result, the hunt time went a lot longer. And it was also the 25th of May.
Was it really?
It was.
Oh, okay.
According to the footage of the farmers running away from Stansted Airport when Doug looks at it, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Because obviously I had more time this week and I started pausing things when times and dates are on the screen. This will play into something later. He says that they weren't careless with their activity, but the hunters caught up with them somehow. And all I have to say on that is, did you see what happened last episode? You were very careless.
Yep.
The hunters caught up with you in 9 hours.
Yeah, it's not how it starts, it's how it finishes.
And Ray chats to Warren outside the car park for Holman's Meadow. And he says, normally I would say something mean now, but that would be like kicking a kitten. First instance of monkeying with the timeline because it was daytime when he chatted to Warren.
Yeah. Which it couldn't have been, could it? But
No, and even though it was summer-ish, as much as we had a summer this year, it still wasn't going to be light at 10:02 p.m. when Shaq was panicking in the pub. And most importantly, they now do not have whiteboard markers to cross people's faces out.
I know, I'm disappointed about that.
It's not satisfying to just see them click the corner of the picture and the X go up.
No.
Yeah, not the same.
There's too much tech.
Yeah, I think it was rolled up in the same contract that got them those weird holograms.
Yeah.
But it feels better. Like I've got on my wall at work, I've got the meetings. Meeting is every Wednesday. And when there's a meeting over on that Wednesday, I cross it off with a black pen, big cross, and it feels good. That week's over. It's done. But if I just slapped a sticker on it, it wouldn't feel the same.
Not the same.
No, it doesn't. It just feels distinctly unsatisfying to see them click the corner of the picture and just a red X appear.
Mm-hmm.
Doug, can you do something about it? Can you hold the red texter and do that? Because it's just weak.
Come on, Doug. You have one job here, and that is to do everything that we want you to do.
Yes, red texter.
That's your one role in listening to this podcast, is doing what we want. But at least Warren admitted that they made some mistakes.
That's one way of putting it.
Some.
So we then get the update on where everyone else is and who's actually going to survive this episode. Andrew and Robin vanished into thin air. They left in a car park on dispersal day at 1:10 p.m. on May 25th. Ashley says that Andrew's a farmer and from farming family, so they will likely go rural.
Hang on. Wait. You missed out Doug trawling through the mum and daughter's TikToks.
Oh, no, that's the next one. The first one was Andrew and
Put them
Robin.
in the wrong order. Okay.
Yeah, the first one was Andrew and Robin. The second one was Saffron and Dion.
Right.
And Andrew and Robin are in Essex, in the middle of nowhere, eating a field of peas.
Yum! I love peas.
And to be more precise, they're running through a field of peas.
It's a classic. It's a classic shot. Let's have people running through fields.
It's the most rebellious thing that they ever could. Anyway, on to Saffron and Dion, because Doug's been looking at TikTok.
Yeah.
Despite being about 3 times the target age for TikTok.
Don't listen, Doug. Don't listen.
That's not criticism on Doug's age. That's a criticism on TikTok targeting 7-year-olds. I saw an article on my local paper's website yesterday talking about kids doing a TikTok trend from like the age of 7, and I'm like, kids shouldn't be on TikTok at 7.
True.
They should have phones at 7.
Parents' fault.
Bad parenting.
I'm sure that's exactly the age TikTok trends are at. 6, 7.
So, Saffron and Dion look like twins. Emperor Doug says that they're like sisters, and they think like sisters, and they're also in Essex, going round in a circle.
That was funny.
Whilst he has a lot of the charm, Chris will be the physical guide. They're going to be a formidable team, and they are in Chester in a very nice-looking hotel.
Very nice.
And Emma and Jenny are in Ripon using their network, and they meet stranger Susan and get a lift with her and her adorable spaniel Harvey. Very good episode for dogs, this one.
Was good episode for dogs. Good episodes for strategies we have discussed at length as well.
Yep.
So, random stranger, perfect.
And now on to the team we are going to focus on this episode, Simran and Cameron.
And why are we going to focus on them lots this episode? Because we're not going to get another chance.
Yeah. I wonder. At least they lasted longer than Warren. So they've been engaged since 2024 and are, according to Emperor Doug, disgustingly, sickeningly in love.
I would concur wholeheartedly, Doug. You've nailed that.
Can I point out? Yes, I've clipped it. Yes, it's going to be the post-credit scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because any opportunity I get to do a clip of Doug like this absolutely happens. And, you know, it really made me laugh, just how he described it. And Cameron plays Plan B on the guitar.
Yes.
And they're in Cambridge heading north in a bus. And she also seems to think that Cambridge students are exactly like you see on the notoriously Cambridge set television program White Lotus. You know, Cambridge, Thailand.
You know.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
And she says she wants to go on the run to see whether they can survive a stressful situation before she walks down the aisle. And they're heading towards Huddersfield to meet up with Simran's best friend's mother, assuming the hunters won't make the connection.
I mean, why would they?
Mm.
All well and good, perfectly within our rules, but you then start texting your best friend going, is your mum available to help us?
Yeah. Like,
That's where
why?
the issue is.
Why?
And also, take a leaf out of her book and clear the data. Make Doug's life harder.
You know what I was thinking? Did she have to text that? Did they have to text? You know, would it been part of something that they have to make one text to one associate?
This was before they went on the run, though.
Yes.
Yeah, good point.
Do you think they don't have to do it before?
No, I don't think they have to do anything beforehand necessarily, but I suspect that she was on a pre-approved list of potential associates, and because they got her phone and saw the text to her best friend, they realised that the mum was on the list of associates and thought she's going to be a priority. Because we know from speaking to former fugitives, they do have to do some sort of pre-approved list of people who could help them. But also, it's like a trial witness list. You fill it with people who you're never going to use.
Yeah.
You make their lives harder. And you certainly don't text someone to say, is your mum available? And then put that mum on the list.
Crazy.
It's a good idea in theory, having someone who's kind of 2 degrees removed from you. She also lives on the edge of the Peak District, which is a brilliant area for hunted fugitives to hide out because they do it all the time. But the mistake she made was, you know, making it too easy for the hunters. And I'll also say, I don't know exactly what day they were caught, but I reckon it was about a week in. I think we fast forward through a fair bit of time in this episode, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it jumps around a fair bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the end of episode 3, assuming it's what I think it's going to be, will be about day 10 or 11.
What day did you say they started?
25th of May. The reason this plays into it is because when we get back to Shaq later, there's a lot of monkeying with the timeline there, and the timeline's completely incoherent.
Yeah, and I mean, there's things that you can find out exactly when they were happening, which is interesting.
Yeah. So Hunter Louise looks at Simran's phone and sees the text between Simran and her best friend, finding the link with the mum, and Ray sends Team Foxtrot up to hunt them down.
What on earth are the hunters wearing on their body? They've got 3 massive things on the front of them, on their chest, in the car. They've got the walkie-talkie thing that's like a phone that they click on the side with. But what are the other 2 things?
Shaq had some sort of tactical vest on as well, I noticed.
But not Shaq, the hunters.
Yeah, I know, but it's something that's also noticeable with the fugitives this time is Shaq, and I think Warren, when he got caught, had some sort of tactical vest on as well. But I presume there's some sort of GPS probably on them, just in case.
They're big.
Or maybe they've just decided this is the hunter uniform now, because they all seem to be wearing it, all 16.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a knock on the door as Simran and Cameron are planning their getaway. Luckily, it's just a neighbour or something. It's not the hunters, which we're led to believe with the ad break.
Lovely little bit of editing there. I do like it when they throw in those little Easter eggs.
Yeah, Cameron's reaction to the door knock was very nearly the banner this week because he did make some very fun faces here. But, Jenni and Emma missed out last week. They are getting the banner this week. I've just not decided exactly what yet. And she takes them towards Penistone as the hunters arrive at her house. As a child, obviously, Penistone's hilarious.
Of course. And another random connection, that spaaaaa is owned by the company I work for.
Oh, nice.
Weird.
So the hunters speak to a neighbour, and he identifies Simran from a mugshot. And Ray puts Sharon's phone on monitoring, and Welsh Paul interrogates her when she gets home. And she gives up her phone, and Craig sees what the last postcode on her sat-nav was. But she has deleted the data on the phone and the car. However, he spots she took an 18-mile journey that took roughly an hour and 25 minutes.
Nice bit of detective work. Sherlock would have been very proud of that.
He would. But also, Sharon, brownie points for clearing your data.
Yes. Nice.
Because the hunters cannot take your phone and send it off to Doug to analyse. HQ then get the cell site data and identify Penistone as a location, 7.8 miles away, so very much in the radius that she drove. And then we head back to Shaq.
Before we head back to Shaq, have we ever seen cameramen in the hunters' cars before? We saw one, and then we saw another one trying to get out of the frame, and he was doing an abysmal job of trying to get down in the seat. But there were two cameramen in the back seat.
There was a few shots in episode 1 where you could see camera people. I think they don't care. And that's right, actually, because we know that there's this blurring the line between what's real and not real. And I think they're just leaning into, it's not real, guys.
Yeah, I think it's probably a conscious thing, this series, because it was a lot more noticeable in this episode.
Yeah.
You could see the camera and sound guy at the back. But even when they go into into Tesco, I think it is, or Spar, Cameron and Simran, you can see their camera woman.
Yes.
On the CCTV, which in previous series they would have made much more of an effort to try and get a shot without her in, I suspect. So I think it's probably a sort of a conscious thing to try and stop people bitching on Twitter, to be honest. Stop people going, oh, it's so fake. And it's like, yeah, of course it is. It's an entirely contrived situation based off a documentary idea to analyse the powers of the state.
Yeah.
So, still in Canterbury, Shaq enters a garage looking for a lift. And he gets a lift with Steve, who's taking him to a racetrack. And the hunters get CCTV of him walking down the street in late May. I say late May because the date on the camera was wrong, I think.
Really?
So the date on the camera said June, but it can't have been June because they have to move more frequently.
But, interestingly, there was an event at Manston Park on the 7th of June. The previous one was too early in May. So I do think the drag race happened on the 7th or 8th of June.
Yeah. I couldn't tell exactly what date in June the camera said he was walking down the road in Canterbury. But unless we're wrong about Warren getting caught on the first day, and it was instead like 2 weeks into the hunt, which really wouldn't make sense because they like to highlight who the first one to get caught was very early in the first episode.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense because the Instagram post was from the 6th of June, which suggests that maybe he went and came back.
Yeah. So Warren gets caught on day 1. Shaq does something for a couple of weeks, and then the next time he appears, he's at Manston Park, and they just seamlessly cut it as if that's all one period of time when actually, potentially, he's gone off the radar for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And I also think that next week's big twist, which we'll get to at the end of the episode, I think that was probably about halfway through the run.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the sort of thing that they would introduce as a format point about halfway through the time of the run, which means that maybe he went to Birmingham and then came back.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe they have really done a Hunted Australia and completely messed with the timeline. And I say that not to try and get a rise out of Michelle, but their timeline management on that show was dreadful.
Yeah, it was all over the place, wasn't
But
it?
I'm just trying to figure out this whole 2-week thing, and then Like, why would they muck around with it that much?
I don't know,
Why?
because I'm just looking at last week's notes. I don't know if they left Ashford. I don't know if Warren got caught in Ashford or whether he actually got caught in Canterbury.
Yeah.
Because also we know from the rules, assuming they've not changed, that they're not really allowed to go back to the same area more than once. Obviously, there was a bit of blurring of the lines with Shaq being able to use Aisha again and get supplies via her, but it would make a lot more sense if it was like 2 weeks into the hunt and then he's getting love notes from his partner rather than like a couple of days into the hunt.
Mm.
Either way, there's some really screwy stuff happening with the timeline here, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions, isn't there? Because if this is 2 weeks in, and the evidence seems to show it is, that means he's been on the run for 2 weeks without any clothes.
Yeah.
So, ooh.
And we know it was at least 2 days gap because he says to Aisha's boyfriend that he went without brushing his teeth for 2 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a big gap missing here for Shaq, I think.
And he didn't know that Warren had been caught. And again, he wouldn't anyway, but that either means he's only found out after a couple of days, or he's been on the run on his own for 2 weeks without knowing that Warren got caught.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff happening with the timeline in this episode, and I'm just not 100% sure what. And more importantly, I'm not 100% sure why. Because if they're fast forwarding through Shaq now, say he gets caught on like day 18, day 19, why wouldn't you just sort of pepper him through the episodes and make it like an episode 5 capture?
Yeah.
Because at the current pace, assuming that it is chronological, which at this point we can't guarantee, he's probably going to get caught in the next episode, I'd guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are fast forwarding through his timeline so quickly.
Mm.
But I'm assuming that because he didn't get caught and he was in that bush, and people probably want some sort of follow up from, and if he suddenly went to ground, I don't think people would be happy not knowing, well, what exactly happened next, you know?
Yeah, but you could always just show his escape and then move on and focus on someone
Yeah.
else, which is what they've done in the past.
Mm.
There's a reason that they're doing this, and I'm just not sure what it is. Because, yeah, it's a real shame that we didn't get a clean shot of that CCTV of him walking down the street in Canterbury to get exactly what date it was. Because if it was, say, the 5th of June, then the 6th of June they post the pub thing, and the 7th is when he goes to Manston.
Mm.
But then, assuming that he escaped on the 5th when the CCTV happened, where was he for 2 days before he went to Manston? Because he would have had to move out of Canterbury by then because of the rules.
Oh, it's all fake.
Yeah, it's just it's so fake and contrived, this show. It's the worst. But this is the sort of puzzle that we love trying to work out on this podcast.
Yeah. So anyone listening, if you've got the stuff we've missed, please tell us.
Yeah, like there's something we're missing here, and I don't know whether it's us as viewers who are missing it or whether it's just us as lackluster podcasters at this point. But also, if you do know anything, please don't spoil the next few episodes for us because none of us have seen them.
Yeah, don't do that. Just tell us stuff about this episode. Yeah, good point.
It's all right. We'll all watch episode 3 in the next day, won't we? Day or so.
Oh yeah, I will be
Oh, that's
almost
true.
certainly doing my notes on episode 3 tonight because I really want to find out what happens with that twist.
Yeah.
I had a tip off about the twist a few days ago and I'm like, oh my god, that's a really good idea. I want to see how this works.
Yeah. Yeah, I will probably be watching it today, so that's fine.
So, as I said, there's some more monkeying with the timeline. Shaq appears in an Instagram post from the pub he stayed at on the 6th of June, but on the screen, the post appears from 14 weeks ago, which means that was B-roll inserted 4 weeks ago. Also, if it was posted on June 6th, that's nearly 2 weeks into the hunt, but Warren, we think, got caught on day 1. And I'm also presuming from what fugitives have told us before that most of the hunt days didn't go to 10 p.m, so that's why I probably think that he did get caught on day 1. And that, come to think of it, no, Shaq was staying at that pub in Canterbury at 10 o'clock at night, wasn't he? Because that was where he stayed.
Yeah.
Fuck. But why would you show the first capture being them? That's weird.
Don't know.
Michael, your brain's hurting. Stop. You're going to explode or something's going to happen.
You can hear the cogs whirring in my head. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. So Shaq gets to hide out of Manson Racecourse through the day and asks Hannah Rose to film him for a video for the hunters on Instagram. And bit of alright, Daisy spots it, and Team Alpha are sent to the racecourse. And by racecourse, I obviously mean the runway of the RAF base. And they speak to Hannah and she acts all innocent, and Paul and Charlotte split up as Hannah gets a call from security that someone has been detained, and obviously it's a decoy.
I know, and even though you know that's going to happen, it's still so satisfying when he pulls his hood back.
In Penistone, Cameron and Simran look for supplies who are going off grid, and they go to Your Friend and Mine, CCTV hub Tesco. And Welsh, Paul and Craig arrive, and HQ gets CCTV from Tesco 20 minutes ago, saying the fugitives were there. They are spotted leaving the Tesco and going east, and Craig goes around and shows off all the mugshots. And new associate Jenni drives them to Matlock, but HQ gets CCTV of the pickup from behind Spa and get the number plate, and are therefore not far behind.
Were you doing air quotes when you said not far?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Jenni and Emma, we then get a reminder of they're in North Yorkshire, off-grid walking through the countryside. Jenni is not angry, she's just disappointed she's had to walk 10 miles.
So
That is such a teacher saying. She's not even a teacher. I'm just disappointed. Don't talk to me. Just don't talk.
Yeah, I love that.
So
Just don't
angry.
talk.
She's
Do not
angry.
talk.
This is the first of the potential Jenni and Emma banners of Jenni just looking miserable as she has to walk through the countryside.
I love this because we know 8 series in, we know what this kind of footage means. It means there's nothing else to show.
Yep.
We love that.
Means we have to be completely reminded of them until, they become relevant again.
Yep.
And they have camped before, albeit 20 odd years ago, and they get spooked by cows, and Emma gets caught in a barbed wire fence. Which leads me on to the second potential banner, which is every single time we cut to Emma just sort of trapped ripping her 80-pound leggings on the barbed wire fence.
If only she'd listened to you last week, Michelle. Why? Why would you have 80-pound leggings?
Just why? Yeah.
Back in Matlock, Cameron and Simran are dropped off. They try and get a lodge, but they're unaware that hunter teams have been following their progress with cell site data, and they are closing in. They get a lodge with a hot tub and relax, unaware the hunters have also got CCTV of them being there now, and they launch a drone and search the cabin areas and put plainclothes hunters in the park. The writing was on the wall at this point.
Very much. Very
Yes.
much so.
Why didn't Simran get in the spa as well? Like, God, how often do you get a chance to get in a spa? And she's just standing there. I'm like, is she thinking, I want to be ready if I have to run? Or is she thinking, I can't be bothered?
I suspect the latter. Also, this is one of your rare opportunities on this podcast anymore to do a Phil Kogan impression if you want to, Michelle.
A spa. Yes, in the spa.
A bit of alright, Daisy spots them on the drone walking down the road hand in hand, sickeningly, disgustingly in love, of course. And the plainclothes hunters get eyes on, and they hug and pretend to kiss while Simran and Cameron walk past. And Craig asks them for permission to intercept. Craig gets Cameron, and more importantly, gets the line right, and Pembe gets Simran, and we have no information on whether she got the line right as well, but I'm presuming, given the new hunters are pulling their weight a lot with getting the line right, that she probably also got briefed on making sure the line is correct, because otherwise we will pick her up on it. And Cameron says it's made him realise that he wants to focus on the love of his life. Going on the run seems to have worked for them. Now, back to Shaq again to end the episode. I don't know why we're getting so much Shaq, I'll be honest. They seem to be front-loading all of Shaq's stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's entertaining, isn't it? So they've got to use it. Don't know why they have to use it in episode 2, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm wondering, and I know no information specifically on this, I'm wondering whether Shaq is the one who gets the dead drop.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a focus in this section on how poor his finances are, how he's got 17p in one of his Monzo banks, that sort of thing. I'm wondering whether That's what this is setting up for, in hindsight.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if anyone gets the dead drop. I don't know who gets the dead drop, if anyone, but it feels like they have to set up Shaq being broke to lead into the dead drop next episode.
It's a good thought.
So HQ look at Shaq's finances, and Anelia realizes he's pretty much broke. The money will mean absolutely everything to him and his family, and as a result, HQ need to exploit the network. And he's in Surrey and lost all of his belongings when Warren was caught. He needs to get resources from his network back in Croydon. And he buys a cheap phone and phones Aisha again to pass a message on to her partner Damon. And HQ obviously get the live intercept, and Ray gets CCTV around Aisha's house.
At what point do you think, if I ring her from a burner phone, what? It's not your phone they're tracking, it's hers.
And the other thing I do have to point out here is he does get a lift back to Croydon with a stranger, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you want me to take you to Croydon and keep you off grid? That'll be fun."
Yeah.
He should listen to her. I know you want stuff, but like, beg and borrow things off strangers. Don't use your network unless you have to. Especially if, as we believe, he's like 2 weeks into the run at this point.
Crazy.
So Damon confirms to Shaq that Warren has been captured, and he goes to pick up supplies to Shaq while his mum transports him to Damon's barber shop. And they get CCTV confirming Shaq was there and asks for cell site data on the burner. Shaq gets a shave and access to the flat under the shop where he could shower and change. And in the bag that has come from his house, Mariah has also included some love notes for him to read and rip later.
So, do you think this is 2 weeks after he started being on the run?
I think it's kind of got to be at this point.
I think it has to be, yeah.
This is what I ask of you two as males. He's gone to get a shave. Did it look like he had 2 weeks worth of something to shave?
That is a good question.
I wasn't paying massive attention, but I didn't notice a radical transformation.
No.
So.
Exactly.
It's very confusing.
Yeah. The timeline is, for want of a better term, fucked here.
Because
Like,
I thought
confused
I'm
by it.
not thinking about monkeying with the timeline at that point. I'm just watching the show for what it is, and I'm thinking, hang on, isn't it just a few days into the run? Why is he getting a shave? Like, I was like, why has he gone to the barber shop? It just seemed really weird to me.
Yeah, and also it's not the sort of place you can really run from halfway through.
That is true.
If the hunters entered the barber shop, he'd be caught.
Yeah.
Half-shaved. So HQ gets CCTV of Shaq getting in the Kia towards the shop and identify Damon as a person of interest. Hunters are then sent to meet Patricia, and by hunters, we finally meet Jordan Wiley, because this is his first appearance this series. And Patricia has no poker face. She reveals she moved Shaq. She didn't know his name and says she dropped him at the Emirates, which is round the corner from Damon's shop. No loyalty whatsoever.
Not even, no. She could have said anything. Just.
Yeah.
Last week, Mariah's neighbour said she want no grass. This week, Patricia is definitely a grass. And Patricia gets a call from Damon, and she confirms they've identified the link, and the episode ends as the hunters arrive at the shop and run past the flat where he's hiding.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, has he long gone? I suspect so.
I think he kind of has to, because he didn't see them out the window.
No.
We saw him looking out the window, but he didn't react as if they've just run past it.
Yeah.
Which makes me think they have not.
So he's got at least another episode then?
Well, I mean, he definitely goes towards Birmingham from what we saw in the Next Time trailer. Because we've now established the Next Time trailers are proper Next Time trailers, so I can watch them. But it seems he has a disguise for Birmingham in that Next Time trailer.
Yeah. So,
So, next time, Jenni and Emma send a text, hunters make contact, the girls are fish in a barrel, and there is a brand new twist at the Library of Birmingham as £10,000 is at stake.
Dun, dun, dun.
I believe the rules on the dead drop, from what I've heard, are they get £10,000 into bricks of cash, £50 notes to be precise, which is definitely not going to stand out, and any money that they don't spend, they get to keep.
So they can spend it while they're on the run, if they want.
Yes. Yeah, they can spend it while they're on the run, or they can keep it and go home with £10,000.
Does that... What happens if they get caught?
They keep it.
But
Okay.
I believe.
But how tempting would it be to just use the cash to get hotel rooms?
Oh,
Just so tempting.
you're speaking my language, Michelle. I mean, on one hand, £10,000. On the other hand, Hilton Honours points. It's
I'm
tough.
not sleeping on any moors if I can sleep in a 3-star something. I don't care where it
3?
is. Well, I'm not using up all my money. Like, geez, just a bed somewhere.
It's got to be tempting at that point. If they are 2 weeks in, which 2/3 of the way, you got to be weighing up the odds. What are the chances that I'm just going to get caught anyway? There might be a temptation for me to just take the 10 grand and go, that's my winnings.
Yeah.
Here I am, guys.
Because the other thing is, 10 grand is more than you would get if everyone got to the end.
Yes.
Yep, that is true. I mean, that's never happened, though, has it?
No.
So,
No, I mean, they wouldn't have a show if the Hunters were that lackluster for 3 weeks, but the share that you would get would be less than 10 grand. So even if it was, I'll take my 10 grand and put my hands up right in front of the Library of Birmingham, then yeah, there would be a temptation there.
Yeah, I would definitely be tempted.
But also it depends how far into the hunt it actually is. Because if it's, as I assume from a production standpoint, I'd probably guess they're going to do it on about day 11 to tempt them out of the hiding places and all that, make the hunters' lives easier because nobody's been caught for a little while. That would be tempting. But also it could be the last week of the hunt and just trying to sort of shake things up a little bit because everyone's gone to ground.
Yeah.
But I really like this twist. I love the idea of it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
Yeah. Obviously, it sort of leans more towards this is a contrived television program aspect of it, but if they're leaning into it anyway, this series, I think it sort of works.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about you, Ant, but I know that area very well.
I know that area incredibly well. I've had 2 jobs based in the city centre of Birmingham. So, yeah, I know all around there, all along Broad Street, all around New Street, all that area.
I have had a bomb scare at a building not very far from that. And I don't know if I've ever told you that story, Michelle, but I might save it for when we record episode 3.
All right, you do that.
Because, one of my work's offices is based not far away from there.
Okay.
And thankfully, I don't have to go to Birmingham anymore because it's an arsehole to get to. So, were you eulogising Cameron and Simran? Or did they not deserve it because we only really saw them this episode?
We didn't see much of them. They seem nice. I wish them all the best. That's it.
They seem disgustingly, sickeningly in love.
Yeah.
And they seem very nice people, but they weren't really cut out for fugitive life, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Any predictions on who's getting caught next week or next episode?
Oh, God. No, I think Emma and Jenni are just going to keep walking out bush, as Aussies would say. Like, Andrew and Robin, I think they're fine too. God, they're really quite adept at hiding, aren't they?
Well, there's only one couple we've not met now, I think, properly.
Sean and Marie?
Yeah, Sean and Marie.
Usually episode 3 is fairly pivotal, isn't it? Because it's, we've set up, by the end of episode 3, they should have set up all the stories that they need. So I think we'll have a good sense after that one.
Yeah, I think we've probably got to meet Sean and Marie next episode, regardless of whether they actually get caught or not.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll probably be a one and done for them, maybe. I think it's episode 4 who I know who goes home, so I won't make a prediction on the next one. But yeah, I think probably a one and done for them, or maybe the twins from The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have also, off the back of last week's episode, remembered the one wanted poster that I saw as well.
Okay.
I've remembered who it was now, I think. But I also can't remember what date that was, so it might have already gone in the timeline of this show.
Yeah.
Anything else to say?
No. Done well.
No, it's fun. I hate this 2-episode a week thing because it's going to be over in a few days. It's
So do I.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I'm basically not able to interact on social media at all because I don't want to see any future episode spoilers. See also the fact that Celebrity Traitors, I have not seen last night's episode still.
No, me neither.
And I'm not sure when I'm going to watch it yet because there's just too much TV on at the moment.
There is. There totally is.
Right. Thank you for listening to our Hunted recap. We'll be back this time next week to recap episode number 3. Don't forget you can contact us on pretty much every social media platform that isn't TikTok, where we're at RTV Warriors, or you can email us and contact at rtvwarriors.com. Anthony's on the artist, formerly known as Twitter at Bulls by Michelle's Bear 3. I'm MJ Harmstone. We'll see you next week for episode 3. But for this week, your time in the run is over.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And they are also disgustingly in love with each other. Oh.